Hello, everyone, and welcome to 2024. We made it to the new year. I'm so I'm so happy about it. Like, it's 2024, guys. And this is not just, this typical, oh, it's a new year, new me type of thing. No, this is the feeling and this is the knowing that I know that this year is going to be good. And this is what we're here for today because I want you, whether you're in this moment right now, feeling like this, or maybe perhaps a few weeks later or months later, if you're feeling uncertain and you need to find direction in uncertainty, this is the video for you. So here are the video chapters. Feel free to click forward to whatever chapter you want to listen to, because I'm here, because I respect your time. And let's immediately get into this video. So let's talk about finding clarity in uncertainty. Is that even possible? Like, you are feeling uncertain in life, in your decisions, in where you want to go, how this year should go. Maybe you don't even have a feeling for 2024. Perhaps you have no direction where you want to go. Yeah, so this video is all about that. And it's not going to be your typical video on just meditate and journal about it and whatever. Of course, these methods help, but I want to be a bit more specific and take you through this journey, because I feel like it's a journey with a few more stops that you should take to really be confident in where you are right now, because getting yourself out of uncertainty requires a lot of confidence, requires a lot of self-belief, and requires a lot of faith. And this is what I want to talk about, right? Step number one that you should take is getting into solitude. And I know we don't like solitude. I know we are social beings and it feels uncomfortable to be by yourself. The first step in order for you to find out why you perhaps are uncertain and lack direction in life, you have to figure this out by your own. You cannot be surrounded by people. You cannot be with groups. You cannot be even especially during the holiday season, be surrounded by family. You will not be able to hear your own thoughts. You will not be able to feel your own feelings, because everything is just, a mix of everything. So the first step for you to gain more clarity and finding direction in this uncertainty is to seek solitude. And as I said, we don't really like being by ourselves, because I don't know where this stems from, but there's actually beauty in being by yourself. And not only beauty, but it's a necessity as well. Because if you're not on your own for quite some time, you will be pretty much influenced by everything around you, surrounding you, and not be able to discern what it is that you want, what you desire, what you think, what you like, what you don't like, etc., etc. There's a fact behind it that you have to seek solitude. And in that case, you need to get uncomfortable being by yourself, but then also find beauty in it. So it will feel uncomfortable. Sorry, my chair is always making noises. I don't know if the noise reduction is really that good, but I hope so. You have to find beauty in being by yourself and be okay with feeling uncomfortable, because yes, you will kind of feel like your life is a movie and now you're thinking everything through, right? And you're sitting there, maybe even not being on your phone, which I really recommend. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm currently in a phase of unplugging and not really being on social media. I actually also wanted to completely detox from social media, but I'm not really doing it right now. I'm not chilling on social media. That for me already is a boundary that I've set, to just be by myself and just allow moments of silence, loneliness even, because if you are in solitude, you will feel lonely, and this feeling is pretty uncomfortable and pretty unfamiliar, but I want you to get comfortable with it and find beauty in it, because in the midst of you feeling lonely, you can hear your thoughts. You can feel what you're feeling. You understand certain things. Maybe you are even able to reflect on things that you haven't had the time or the energy or the capacity to reflect on, and now you're able to do so, right? So just find the beauty in it. I know it is uncomfortable, and I'm not trying to tell you that it is comfortable to be by yourself. You basically also have to force yourself, if we're being honest, because there's so many distractions outside. I don't have to name things that distract us. It's in your power, it's in your authority to control what you let yourself be distracted by. And therefore, you would have to force yourself in this state, especially if you're someone who, is always on the go, on the go, on the go. Let's say this is a whole like journey. This won't happen in a day. Like, let me break that down to you. We're not here for shortcuts, right? This YouTube channel, my YouTube videos aren't really about the fast way to XY. It's more the journey and the process behind it, right? I'm like more guiding you towards your best version, and therefore also I'm here to tell you that this isn't going to happen overnight. It can happen overnight, but the fruits will show that it's not really fruiting. It's not really because I'm trying to find words for something that doesn't make sense. But it just, there's also like the saying that in the Bible that the results will be seen in the fruits. You're not going to do this like in one day, this whole thing. You can, but I don't know if it's going to be sustainable. So you would have to take a while off. Maybe 3 days, maybe 5 days, maybe a whole week, maybe 2 weeks. If you're courageous, you can do 2 weeks. But I'm good with 7 days, 6 days, something like that, And yeah, let's say you're on day 2 or day 3 of you embracing this uncomfortable feeling of being by yourself, listening to your thoughts, journaling, meditating, praying, reading God's word, and all of that, right? And now you kind of got used to being by yourself. Still feels weird, but I mean, you're going through it. Now you've accepted it. And now that you've kind of connected to yourself, because this is what this is about, solitude is to connect you to yourself, who you are, and who you potentially are running away from or have neglected, right? So now that you're more connected and in tune with yourself, you can take on this next step, which will be writing down your dream life. You can either write it down with your hands, like manually, or digitally. I did this digitally. Before I wrote it down digitally, I actually visualized it. That's the thing. So I visualized it in my head before I actually wrote it down. And I was quite surprised that when I wrote it down, I didn't leave out any details. And that proves, that actually proves, and I'm not going to talk too much on this because I'm getting to this point a bit later, but that proves that deep down we know what we want. Because I had this crazy like imagination of my dream life, right? And I thought, okay, maybe this is like just this one time. I should have like, I don't know, recorded it or, voice audioed this me talking out loud. As I was writing it down, I realized it was so effortlessly, and I basically didn't leave out details, if even put some like details on it, right? So that just proves that deep down you actually know what you want, what you desire, and can imagine your dream life. But if you don't yet, which is totally fine, that is okay. Maybe you were never really in the mindset of imagining your best life because you've gone through hardships after hardships and you're like, yeah, that's actually for everyone else but me. Nope. You are experiencing pain and hardships in your life for a specific reason, and that is, there are many reasons, of course, but one of the reasons being to build your character. And therefore nothing is in vain. Nothing is just because it happened to be like that and it is what it is and there's no depth or meaning behind it. No, 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 no. There is depth and meaning behind it. So in that case, if you haven't really dared to experience or to imagine your dream life, this is your time. So take out a piece of paper, open a Google Docs, or visualize it in your head first. Whatever approach suits you, do it. I don't have to give you instructions on how to imagine your dream life. Get in the mood of it. Maybe like light a candle, put your diffuser on, put some relaxing music on. The best thing you can do is like listen to nature sounds or just like instrumental, like nothing with lyrics, nothing that can influence you. You really have to be in a state of being uninfluenced so that you can actually go into your heart and really feel and realize what it is that you really want. Now read through it. You wrote it down and now read through it. And I want you to like see this as a exercise, right? You wrote your dream life down. Imagine yourself experiencing this right now. Close your eyes and imagine, like, okay, you wrote a sentence down. Okay, let's say you wrote down, okay, now I'm heading to the beach because I live by the beach. Imagine yourself walking by the beach. How do you feel? What do you see? What sensations do you feel in your body? Like, try to make it as real and tangible as possible, because this is not some delusional shit that I'm trying to sell you, right? This is actually the reality because it is within you, it is in your heart, and you really have to believe it. Imagine yourself living this dream life. Get into it. What are you wearing? How do your hair look, perhaps? Get into the details to make it as tangible as possible. Now, the next step is you should filter out your why. Maybe there's a red line and you're like, okay, that's interesting. I've always wanted that. Or, that was pretty easy to imagine myself living a life like that. Like, filter out your why. Like, ask yourself, why do you want this life that you imagine that is in your heart? And by me saying figure out your why, I'm not trying to tell you to question it. Like, why do you want to have 10 Birkins? Like, girl, who's gonna afford that, you know? No, but actually imagine yourself in this. Try to get to the why of it, because everything is connected to a why. And filter out your why. Well, the next step in that case should be to pray about it and to ask God if this is what He envisions in you, like your life to be, if it's aligning with His plan in your life. And oftentimes, if this imagination of you, your dream life, your desires, where you want to be, who you want to be, comes and stems from your heart, and it's a desire, then you know it's actually already in alignment with God. Of course, you cannot like get a feeling like, does God want me to get these 10 Birkins? But if it's a desire, that it is already of God. If it is a desire of your heart and not a desire that you see from the outside, or you know, especially in visualization, the tendency of trying to pick up images from people's lives or what you see online, or just, you know, media, whatever, all sorts of visual things representing people's lives. Try not to do that and try to be by yourself in your heart, because what if person A desires this beautiful, luxurious lifestyle, and person B desires this beautiful lifestyle of living in nature and connecting to nature? It doesn't mean that person B's imagination and why is less valuable than person A because it's not materialistic, or it doesn't mean that person A's imagination and desires are too materialistic and this is not what it is about in life. No, it is your own desire, your own will. It is how God created you to be. And each of us have like different preferences. Each of us have different desires towards something, whether it be a bit more materialistic or more like unmaterialistic. Don't judge yourself on it, but just accept who you are in that case. Now that you've done all this work, now we're getting to the fun part. I don't know if you are into creating vision boards, but this is the actual moment when you should start doing a vision board. And not just because, okay, now it's a new year, or like end of the last year in that case, and now you're sitting there trying to like create a vision board from scratch, or just because you see beautiful pictures and try to create an aesthetic out of it. Your vision board has to be very intentional, and I want your vision board, and this is the challenge, to be a visual representation of the dream life that you wrote down. It doesn't have to be a challenge though, but it can be, because let's say you wrote down your emotions, right? And how are you going to find something visually representing an emotion? But you can be creative about it. It doesn't have to make sense to other people, you know, when they see your vision board. And that's also the thing. And I've talked about it with my friends, right? And we had this ongoing conversation on vision boards. I understand the significance and depth behind a vision board. And I've been creating vision boards for like 4 years. I guess I started in like 2019. And yeah, I absolutely love and recommend it. And the thing with vision boards is nowadays, especially with social media, things are just very public, you know? People just give too much price of their life. And I wouldn't do that, especially if you're creating a vision board that is based on your dream life, how you want your life to really like look. It won't compare to the other ones, the other vision boards. So totally create your own vision board, and also try to not share it and present it to people. That's also the thing, because I actually have it as my lock screen. And I don't know why like MacBooks are so complicated. Like the amount of tutorials that I've watched to actually figure out how to change my desktop background, or to leave it, you know, but change the lock screen of my laptop. And it's like, yo, you have to study IT for this. Like, I don't get it. Like, why is Apple so over the top? You really have to like, you know, I'm not even getting into the process, yo, because I tried it thrice and I'm actually tech savvy, and I didn't like, it still doesn't work. And it frustrates me, because I'm like, no, I want to keep my vision board on my laptop as a background, but I don't want it as a lock screen. But yeah, anyways, let's see if I can figure that problem out. But in that case, please just keep it sacred, keep it to yourself, and try to not overshare your vision board. Try to not put it on your lock screen on your phone as well, especially if it's not just for the aesthetics, especially if it has a meaning, because you never know. You just never know who's actually going to see it and speak bad things over it. I said what I said. You don't know the intentions of people, whether it's close people or random people, you know? Just keep it sacred to yourself. Congratulations, you've created your vision board. Now the next step can be writing down your goals. Writing down your goals for 2024, your wishes, your desires, your aspirations, and everything that you want and desire for this new year. And I feel like this chronological order is pretty good for you to write down your goals, like after writing down your life vision, your dream life, then in that case, it aligns with where you want to go. I feel like, you know, with goal setting, and that's why I didn't really create a YouTube video on goal setting. It's because I realized definitely you should have goals. Don't take this from me saying you shouldn't plan out goals. I do have goals, but they should align with your life vision. I invested into a course, and this one sentence that the creator of the course keeps on like referring to, especially for women, is to take vision-based actions and to make vision-based decisions. That actually means that you should have a vision which is really clear, you know, due to your dream life that you wrote down and the vision board that you've created. Now this vision is actually there. You know where you want to head. You know how life should look, right? Now you should actually take action towards it. That's why you need goals. See, that's what I meant. Don't take it from me saying you don't need goals, you do. But it has to align with your vision. Of course, you can create goals that kind of like go around it and up and down. And in a few years, I'm actually going to reach that goal to acquire my dream life. But why not start now? Why not actually break it down and imagine, like, okay, so this is how I want my life to go. What are the steps that I need to take? What are the vision based decisions that I should be taking today? So structure them out, pray about it, and see if it resonates with you in your heart. And if it does, you're good to go. Last but not least, finally, you have to believe it in your heart. I feel like this is the most difficult part. I feel like, at least for me, because I'm untangling myself out of being too much in my head and being more in my heart. And this is a journey that I've started like last year, like in the last quarter, because I realized, girl, actually, if you don't believe it in your heart, then it's not gonna happen. And I actually like consume content that actually, what do I have with my actually today? Manifest their dream lives and acquire their dream lives. Like, how are they doing it? And there's one approach, and that approach is universal, which is believing it in your heart. And if you're not believing something in your heart, no matter, I would say it's an assumption. I don't know it, you know? I'm still learning. Don't take my word as the thing. But that's why I'm always like cautious with how I express things, because I'm not trying to like put opinions on you, right? Because you have to make your own experiences. But I feel like no matter how much you pray for something, but you don't believe it in your heart, then it won't really manifest. You're not believing it in your heart, and that's something that had to like come into my mind, and I really had to like accept it, because I know that there's truth in it. If you don't believe something in your heart, but perhaps believe it in your head, it won't really manifest, because your head is actually giving orders led by your heart. See, and that's a thing that I've also learned. Like in the hospital, the person is like, you know, brain dead. They can still like use his organs and give it to other people. But if somebody is heart dead, they cannot use the organs at all. And that actually shows that everything starts with the heart. And I feel like everything in our society tries to like get us into our heads and not in our hearts. And that's why I feel like this challenge for me, because I grew up being in my head, being logical, being like responsible, being this, being that, but not taking decisions out of my heart because I feel it, because I desire it, because this and that. It kind of always like seemed so like romanticized. Oh, you're following your heart, you know? And I was also like subconsciously thinking that. I didn't like mock people that follow their hearts. I was like actually in awe that they did. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, go and follow your heart, right? But deep down, that's the truth. And this is what you should also be doing. And in Proverbs 3:5, it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. So the emphasis on the heart here again, you have to trust in the Lord, first things first, and with all your heart, meaning with your desires, with your wishes, with your emotions, and not lean on your own understanding, being your head. Your own understanding is created here. Your logical experiences, limiting beliefs, your consciousness is all here. So do not lean on your own understanding, because sometimes life doesn't make sense, right? Seems illogical. Like, I did this, so I expect this result, but it didn't come out like this. Okay, so something is off. But leaning on your own understanding actually causes you to stumble and fall and think that your life is, you know, not worth living, or that the mistake is you, or whatever. Like, yeah, sometimes the mistake might be you, but you still have to understand that leaning on your own understanding is pretty dangerous, because life doesn't make sense. It just doesn't, it's not logical. Things happen, supernatural things happen, right? You can't lean on your own understanding. And I'm gonna put a period here because I can drift off and talk about this forever and ever and ever. But just take this, understand the importance of not leaning on your own understanding. Otherwise, your life really seems illogical. And if you lean on your own understanding, then you will remain uncertain. Let me tell you that. Leaning on your own understanding will make you feel uncertain. Read Proverbs 3:5 and see how it resonates in your heart. And yeah. So that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you like it. And I hope that this has helped you to, find an approach to get out of your uncertainty and more into clarity and finding direction in your life. And this is intentionally the first video of 2024 because I want us to get out of our heads and more into our hearts and more into doing and more into believing and more into putting faith in our actions, right? So thank you so much. Share this with someone who needs to see or hear this. And hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified each time I upload. Comment down below your thoughts and how this video resonated with you. And last but not least, follow me on my socials at Spirit Mata. Let's connect there. And yes, you're loved. Until next time then, bye.